This year is entitled Memory of Mr. Joel Abraham, Zechrono Levrach, father of Yonatan Abraham. This is part two. In the first year we discussed from the time of death, which was before Yontif, Shabbos Yontif Pesach, and there was no burial. They cannot bury him before Shabbat. So therefore, we discussed the status during Shabbat and Yom Tov. What's Yonatan and the other family members? What's their status? Aninut, not aninut, partial aninut, and now we're up to Monday. So it's Monday, and the burial is on Monday. So after burial, what happens? And even during burial, what happens? Is there kriyah? So the practice is for us to do kriyah, for the relative to do kriyah, certainly for a parent. From the Hagam regarding a sibling, do you wait to do kriyah or not? But for a parent, we do kriyah, and right before the funeral, right before the funeral process, we do kriyah. We say the bracha baruch dainamet with Shem u'Malchut, with God's name, and then there's the burial. We don't really have hespedim eulogies during the time of Pesach. Let's wait till after Nisan is over, because during Nisan we don't have eulogies, and especially during Yontif we don't have eulogies. So that would have to wait. But the kriyah stay, we do not stay with that ripped shirt just till after the funeral. After the funeral, put back a regular Yontif Chol Hamoed garment. So that's regarding the burial process. We have a ripped shirt during the burial process, Baruch Emet, then take off the shirt, no eulogies. Someone to say, if I just say a few words, which are not emotional at all in any way, it words of inspiration to the people, but no one's crying. Everyone is still in the state, not in a state of simcha. It's hard to be in the state of simcha at a funeral, but not in the state of bechi, of crying. I want to say that there's some room for leniency. That's a point that needs to be analyzed. Many people have a eulogy during Nisan and other times, and there must be eulogies where I can't use this person. I'm just going to say a few words. Maybe if there's no emotional and sadness and the crying, maybe there's justification on that, but that needs to be looked into. So we have the funeral, the burial. After the burial, Yonatan puts the shirt back on. Regular Yontif shirt, does not walk around with the Kriya shirt during the Moed, during Pesach. So now the question is, what is Yonatan's status? He had the burial. It's the Moed. So does Pesach knock out Shiva? We know that if one started Shiva before Pesach, Pesach would cancel the Shiva. Now he's in Shloshim. But do we need to start Shiva in order for it to be canceled? And the answer is yes, we do. And over here, Shiva does not start, and therefore can be canceled. So therefore, what is Yonatan and the family during this time? So there's burial Monday, finishes the burial, so he's not in Shiva. So he's nothing? Halachically, what's the status? So believe it or not, he's in Shloshim. Cannot press clothing, cannot get haircuts, and even though it's already many activities are also shaving, haircuts already also because of Shloshim, because of Moed already, but now they're also because of Shloshim. So even if there was a head to get a haircut, some exceptional head to get a haircut, no. Now he's an Ava, cannot get a haircut because of Availut. And even if normally one shaves, certain positions hold, if you shave before the Moed, you could shave during the Moed. Well, now you can't because the person is in Shloshim. So it's an unbelievable case. The case of the person, Yonatan in our case, he is in Shloshim from Monday after the burial. The Shloshim starts from Monday, counts 30 days from Monday, that's Shloshim. The 30 days of Shloshim. Shiva begins after Yontif. So it's a rare case of Shloshim starting before Shiva. In the typical case, we have Shiva, finish Shiva, then have Shloshim. Really, even during Shiva, in the typical case, the 30 days has begun as well. But here, it's only 30, and then Shiva's afterwards. Now, what does that mean afterwards? Does afterwards mean, in the States, the burial is on Monday? So that's when Shiva begins. You'd say that. The Chiddush is that Sunday is a rabbinic day of Yontif. And on that rabbinic day of Yontif, the rabbis were lenient to allow that rabbinic day of Yontif to count as the first day of Shiva. Even though there's no mourning on Sunday in New Jersey. There's no active mourning of Shiva. Doesn't matter. The rabbis were lenient and let that count as the first day of Shiva. So therefore, it turns out that Tuesday is which is the first active day of Shiva. Tuesday is the first active day of Shiva, but it's the second day in the count of Shiva. Yes, Hashem, we'll have another Shana topic just to finish off a few more details. Shalom.